Hey everyone, welcome to Life in the Bluegrass. I'm Bart Daly and I'm your host. Would you be looking for a place to relax, do some rock climbing, hiking, fishing, canoeing? I mean, the list goes on and on. Is that something you're interested in? If that's the case, you have come to the right place. Here at Life in the Bluegrass, we talk about all things here in Central Kentucky. Hopefully they're something of interest to you. Now, if you are coming back to the channel, thank you very much. Go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, well, welcome. This is where it all happens when we're talking about Central Kentucky. So go ahead and hit that follow button, smash that like button. Hey, you see that bell somewhere? Go ahead and hit that so you get the latest updates here on the channel. So what I try to do here on this channel, my team and I, we try to put people together with their dream home. It could be in a metropolitan area, it could be out in the country, or it could be in the mountains. Yes, here in Kentucky, we have beautiful mountain ranges, especially in the Daniel Boone Forest. And today, we're going to be talking about the pros and the cons of living around the Red River Gorge area. So let's jump in. When I'm thinking about Red River Gorge, I'm thinking about beautiful scenery. I'm thinking about nature. I'm also thinking about a nice fire pit in the evenings with my family. So if we take a look at the scenery, that has to be the number one pro for this area. The whole Red River Gorge area started off was really just a state park, but it has gone leaps and bounds beyond that. It's nationally recognized to be one of the greatest rock climbing adventures here. It's just amazing what all's going on there. They've done so much work in revitalizing that small community. So you can look at the arches. I think we've got some arches up here and some of the trails, the kayaking. I mean, this is all in your backyard. So let's talk about vacation rental demand. You know, everyone has heard of Airbnb and VRBO. And they're typically for, say beaches or going to a specific community for a special event. Now we're talking about Airbnbs and VRBOs in the gorge. Yes, the rentals up there are through the roof. I have several friends who own rentals in that area, and they're able to really pay for the expense of their cabins just through rentals. And they block off 3 or 4 weeks, maybe a month out of the year to use it themselves. But the thing about the gorge is there's something to do year round, even in the winter months. So in the summer, it's very popular for, as we've stated before, but in the winter, it's beautiful. The leaves are gone and you just see nature's beauty there. Again, it's a very, just a private escape. There are other places that are close to Kentucky that are very popular, one of which, of course, is Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Dollywood, the blah, 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 Sevierville, Tennessee. But it's very commercialized. The cabins are just stacked on top of one another. The pro about Red River Gorge, it's just not that, it's not that populated. It's something to consider if you're looking for privacy and a true escape. The cabins are just tucked away in the woods. I mean, you're going up, you're going down, you're going sideways, you're on a side of a cliff. You can spend all weekend long. You can spend a week there and not have to leave your cabin. It's absolutely beautiful. Now that I mentioned the Smokies, let's talk about the value versus the Smoky Mountains. Compared to a Gatlinburg or an Asheville, North Carolina, you are getting a much, much better value for your buck in the gorge area. The rentals there are, they're $400 and $500, $600 a night easily, with not that much of a view other than, your neighbor's trash cans. So in the gorge, you've always got the natural beauty of just woods, and you're talking about a couple $100 a night, maybe 300. I looked at a large cabin for my family and extended family, and it had like 18 bedrooms to it, and it was still about $1,100 a month. Well, it was 4 times that in Gatlinburg. So you get a lot of bang for your buck there. Let's talk about the community vibe. So comparing it to a Great Smoky Mountains or a Asheville, North Carolina. Now, Asheville does have a really cool vibe, real chill. If you're going down into Asheville, a lot of locally owned restaurants as well as stores. Gatlinburg, forget about it. There is no vibe there anymore. It's shopping, it's hustle and bustle, it's terrible traffic, it's chain restaurants. Listen, don't get me wrong, I enjoy Gatlinburg. I'm not dissing the Smokies, not at all. I enjoy it. A lot of family fun takes place there every single year. My family is a part of that. However, the Gorge, you can go and sit in a coffee shop there that's owned by locals, that's open 6 days a week because, hey, everybody needs a day off. It's just casual. People are talking about the sights, the sounds that are going on there locally. You can ask all kinds of questions with anybody around. The friendliness meter is through the roof here, folks. Through the roof. You just don't get that many places. It's still a very, very small town in a very, very small community, and they're happy and they're proud of that, and I'm happy for them. When we think of the pros and the cons, so we've talked about, let's see here, we've talked about the scenery and just the adventure of things. We've talked about the vacation rental demand. We've talked about just privacy and escape. We're talking about the value, the cha-ching between them and the Smokies. And lastly, we've talked about just the community vibe, just that sense of community. Let's move on to the cons. And I guess it depends on what kind of chair you're sitting in, theoretically, of course. It doesn't matter what chair you're sitting in. Wi-Fi and cell service there is sketchy at best. Most of the cabins, most of the homes in that area do have internet service, and it is fairly reliable, whether they're using a local provider or a satellite provider. Most of the service it is, because they do have security systems, they do have cameras. A lot of them have electronic locks that are connected to the internet. So it's not terrible. Matter of fact, your internet service in your cabin is going to be far better than your cell service on your phone, typically. So, if you are bound and determined to have a lot of calls and do a lot of cell service stuff, it's not going to happen. You can connect to the Wi-Fi and share with everyone on social just how wonderful it is and what kind of a great time you're having. I think that's probably the better way to do it. So next, access and roads. Well, gravel roads. Once you get off the main road, you're gravel road. You're talking big potholes. You're talking about possible creeks that you may have to cross. Terrible GPS coordinates being able to get to these places most of the time. And most of the time, a lot of times they don't have signage. So you're gonna have to talk to whomever, whether it be your real estate agent if you're looking to purchase, or your rental agency, to get some really strong directions, such as, hey, at the tree that's fallen over that looks like a giraffe, hang a left. If you've gone to the creek, well, then you've gone too far. Back up. There's no place to turn around. So just keep in mind, and also remember the vehicle that you're driving, because in a lot of these areas, driving a car, especially a low riding car, would not be a good choice. Limited year-round living. So I mentioned a moment ago, there's a lot of things to do around there. In the wintertime, a lot of places did shut down. I'm seeing now where many restaurants are staying open year-round, such as Miguel's Pizza. Miguel's Pizza is famous for anybody who's ever gone to the Gorge. You go to Miguel's Pizza, that's just part of it. It is I will say, a naturist hangout. It's where everybody goes, rock climbers, canoers, kayakers, hikers, campers, blah, 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 fishermen. They're all there hanging out, and they're talking about the area. They're talking about, hey, you know, have you tried this trail, or have you tried that trail? Have you climbed this rock? Whatever. So it's that sense of community. Remember I was talking about earlier, that sense of community. So Miguel's has that, and they're now open year round. But there are a lot of places that aren't open year round. So, and you know, grocery stores is one of those. You know, there's not a lot of grocery stores around there. There's convenience stores and maybe some mom and pop stores. So when you go, you better pack your grocery store with you in the back of your SUV, frankly. Anything and everything that you're absolutely going to need, positively going to want, you better take it with you, because unless the Shell station has it, which is very close, or if you know you need eggs or marshmallows or something like that, you're probably going to have to travel about 15-20 minutes both ways to be able to get that. So convenience isn't always there. Some tourist traffic. So when I'm talking about this community being small, it doesn't take a lot of traffic to really cause some major congestions. And keep in mind, these roads are switchback roads. Hey Bart, what's a switchback? A switchback is as soon as you switch one way, you're switching back the other way. So it's pretty tight trails on the road. So you're going to get some congestion pretty fast. So just keep that in mind when you're there in the spring and the summer and early fall. You know, the leaf watchers out there want to come watch the leaves change. So it's going to be a little bit congested. Keep that in mind. Do not go to this place if you're in a hurry. Leave your stopwatch at home, because there's no hurrying here. If you're thinking of the possibility of purchasing a home there and either renting it or just having it as a family retreat, I would consider maintenance costs will probably be a little higher because of its rural area. It's probably going to be harder to find help with maintenance. There are some really nice management companies in the area for those of you who are looking to make an investment there, who will provide the cleaning, the linens, and all that. So there's an advantage, and they can do limited maintenance, but that's something that you need to think about, because in this area, if you've got a cabin, these woods, these forests is very dense. So he's not getting a lot of sunlight. So that wreaks a lot of havoc on your roof, on your wood siding. So you're gonna have to make sure that your gutters and your eaves are cleaned out. Otherwise, come fall and winter time, you could really have some bad things happen, of things freezing in your eaves. Also, making sure that the side of the house is sealed well, because hey, you're in the forest, so a lot of bugs and they eat things. One of the things they eat is wood. So keep that in mind also. Your maintenance is probably going to be kicked up a little bit, because most of them are not either on city water or on sewer system. You know, they have a septic tank, so that takes a little maintenance. If you're using well water, which there's several wells in that area, that takes a little maintenance. So just things to think about. So that's it. Our cons here are, you know, not the best cell or Wi-Fi service. Roads, access to roads, tight roads. So you gotta be a good driver, and you need to make sure that you're driving a vehicle that's not riding right on the gravel. Limited year-round living. Just keep in mind that, you know, things may not be open year-round. Pack for everything just in case. Tourist traffic during the busy time of year. And lastly, the maintenance costs of just owning and taking care of these cabins. But all in all, it is a absolute fantastic place to visit. I don't live there, of course, but one of these days I will. One of these days I will have a cabin there. So, you know, I appreciate your time, and take a second to go ahead and hit a like for me. I love providing this content to you, but like this video. If you're not following, I hope after seeing this video, it's been enlightening and informative. Go ahead and hit that follow button and ring that bell so you can get a reminder when things happen. So here at Life in the Bluegrass, you know, whether you're looking for a place in 9 days or 90 days, doesn't make any difference to me. I'm here to help you, because, you know, an investment in a home, it's not a gamble. It's securing your future is what it is. So consider looking at the gorge. You know, the Red River Gorge could be a good fit for you. It may not be a good fit for you, but you know, if you're looking for peace, serenity, and profit, and it all comes with a beautiful view, it could be something that you're looking for. So please send me a DM, call me, send me an email. All my contact information is down below, pinned to the top. So feel free to reach out. I want to hear from you. Hey, if there's other video ideas that you have for me, leave a comment. Let me know. And we'll see what we can come up with. Hey, until next time, let's make home happen. Take care.